Yo, bro.
Sideways.
Yeah, I gotta fix the thing right. Does this shit stretch? Oh, this shit don't stretch that way. This shit bogus as hell.
Are you doing this in your car?
Yeah, I had the joint I had bought, like the little stand. It don't. Why we keep having issues? Why is it like this? This shit don't stretch all the way. It don't stretch horizontal, my G. Let me see if I can set the thing up like this. Think you want to do it like this?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it for the most part. Yeah.
Okay. I probably have to park up if I'm gonna do it like this.
I don't want you getting in an accident, man.
Nah. I'm definitely good at multitasking, but it's gonna keep sliding. All right. Yeah. He's mad. Okay. All right. Boom. Yeah. I can pull up. Do it like this or something. Bang bang. Are you holding yours, or you got something that holds it?
I got mine up against a cup, sitting on a speaker.
Okay. Let me position mine. There we go. Let me just throw the air off. What's good with it?
Well, man, we don't even got to do this right now if you're busy, man. We can do it when you're relaxed at home or whatever, unless you're good.
Nah, I'm good. I just was hoping to use this joint, but I'll use it next time.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely wanted to just damn near pick up where we kind of left off, just because so many people was DMing me, and I'm sure you got hit up too. And, man, it's so important. I feel like just like the vulnerability and just being open with people and transparent, because a lot of us got like an image we got to uphold, and I'm not even mad at battle rappers, because it's not even about the image with some battle rappers. It's just like, I don't want this shit used against me. Like, you feel me? Like, they got enough shit on me already for me to be open about like my personal issues, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I feel like when we talked, I wasn't really transparent about, I wasn't vocal about like some of the things I do or like that I've learned to really like stay out the way and stuff like that. And I feel like the overall scope for me is just being a good person in general, like a pure person to your own belief. Like if you believe helping people or, you know, taking care of your family, whatever is a good person. Like I've never known an addict. That's just like my goal, what keeps me like on the straight now, because I've never known nobody to just be somebody that like, and I mean down to the T. That's what I guess I haven't vocalized is the how meticulous it is. It goes as far as like littering or cutting somebody off in traffic or talking bad about somebody behind their back. It's just all bad energy, which comes back to you and makes you want to get high, in my opinion. Or let me say me, it comes back to me and makes, you know, brings guilt and other different feelings that ain't positive, but I put out negative energy. So that'd be my whole thing about staying like on the right path and the righteous path. You know, there's definitely selfish reasons involved to keep me focused and, you know, on my deen.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we all got certain, you know, demons and things bothering us and maybe things from our past or whatever. And when you do good, you know, it might not erase it, but it definitely helps. And, you know, my mom always said, and it's a quote from the Bible, but it's give and you shall receive. And, and it seemed like the times where I was giving the most or being the most generous or doing, you know, like thoughtful deeds to a lot of different, it was all coming back to me. Like, and like not even a question. I would say to my girl, I'd be like, look at all this type of shit coming in, like back to back people giving. And I always wondered that about you, because I'm sure you still are, but for a long time you were spending your days just, you know, giving out to the homeless and spending your own money and just giving and giving and giving. Did you find that you were receiving blessings back, whether it was physical things or just like mentally or just, you know?
Yeah, I mean, to touch on both, because I definitely wanted to like I really feel like doing the right thing is the answer, and I feel like the person that says, oh, you know, I was giving back and being a good person, and you know, I still got high and it didn't work. They're probably not being 100%. You know, they're not even conscious of like some of their everyday behaviors of like, you know, smashing a chick and leaving in the hotel. Like, fuck it, she was a stripper. And, you know, just little shit or everyday shit we do, or maybe like talking shit to somebody on the internet. Like, you know, all that shit is bad energy. And they'd be like, yo, I was being a good person, though. I don't get why this happened. And it's like, if you down to the detail, I don't really see how you could just go towards doing drugs. I've never seen like the uppity person that's like, hey man, I did yoga this morning, I meditated, played with my son. Be like, yeah, now I'm about to just do some heroin. It's about 3 p.m. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, that's my day. Like, I really feel like, you know, if you're 50-50 half-assing it, then more than likely, yeah, you're gonna bounce back. You know what I mean? And to touch on what you said, what did you say again fully? Because I don't fully understand.
I think I touched on, the giving back, like, giving.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that definitely, like, I've been doing that. I just stepped it up, like, in the public, and that definitely, like, is like reciprocity. It's like, that's what Zig Ziglar said. One of my main reasons towards going towards that way is like, if you want what you want out of life, you got to help people get what they want. So, you know, I have no problem doing that. I still do that to this day, and it's just like, that's just how the world works to me.
Yeah, and it's
somebody wrote boring. Oh, we definitely didn't come on here to battle rap, buddy. I didn't. We just entertain y'all.
You know what? I mean, I got so many messages just like you that were like, man, I expected to go on and see you guys talking about battle rap, and me just kind of log off, and then I realized how vulnerable you guys were being and real you were. And you know, for anyone to say boring, I guess you haven't seen the last conversation where we completely talked about our problems, our addictions, and stuff like that. Keep in mind, I'm speaking to the person there, although I usually don't just address everyone that says something negative. We're battle rappers. So out of anyone maybe in the world, we probably shouldn't be putting all our stuff out there, because everything we say gets used against us. So us doing that is a big step in itself, because knowing that it's going to be used against us, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'd rather help people. I'd rather, potentially help 100 people or 200 people or 1,000 people talking a hollow here than just look cool. You know what I mean? And it be used against me, big deal, man. You know what I mean? That's a superpower.
Well, I think we don't to be able to be the two dudes that do it, because I've heard you say it and I've said it over and over. Like, I'm not really in the streets where I have to worry about how I look or worry about, like, you know what I'm saying, somebody trying to come up to me and like, nigga, you soft, you was up there, and I'm blessed for that, and I definitely, don't shun that life. I definitely come from that life, but, I think that's why we're in a position to be able to speak freely like this. And my girl said something one time, like a year and a half ago, like about, she was like, yo, you don't know how free you are, like, you get like, this stuff I hide from my family and stuff like that. Like, you say shit in the public and people already know about, certain stuff that's like mad private to me, and I hide, so that's dope. Like, and I never thought about that, because I live, like, that's my life. I can't think about a person who lives their life like hiding from their family or, lying to others or having, you know what I mean? So it was just like kind of like that. And that was an eye opener. Like, yeah, we are kind of free because, we get to be transparent and ain't nothing to hide. It ain't like you're going to pop up somewhere and they're like, Pat Stay, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, nah, I pretty much know everything about me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, yeah, I wanted to ask, like, did you peep, like, correlations, like, maybe through music or certain stuff you did to make you want to, like, drink or do what you do?
Yeah. Well, I started kind of early because I was hanging around the older crowds, and like to fast forward and make it quicker, I would drink because I relate. So I listened to super West Coast gangster music. You know what I mean? My whole life, drinking 40s and something shit like that. So I was drinking 40s every day, just like you kind of said about like the chopped and screwed shit, drinking the lean or whatever. I was drinking that, not like feeling like I was in a 6-4, like, oh, what to do a drive-by.
Yeah, but you were living a lifestyle.
The feeling. It was the feeling type of shit. And I was drinking it every day, and for a long time. And back then I was cool because I just drank to myself every day. And so I didn't think it was that big of a problem. I wasn't hurting nobody. I was just getting loaded by myself. And then I realized just like how not normal that was after a while. And then when I started going out more, I realized I couldn't control myself as far as drinking. Like I couldn't just go out and have like 3 drinks or 4 drinks. It was extreme, right?
It was
So
like the Marvin and the, not to cut you off, but I'm just trying to pinpoint it to your life of like me knowing you from watching you, was like Marv, when you and Marv got into it, like a big part of like you realizing you had an issue because that was on camera.
yeah, yeah. That was another embarrassing moment because I've had so many of them prior and afterwards. But yeah, no, that was very embarrassing, man. And the most embarrassing part about that was Marv told me before the battle, yo, I'm gonna take a shot at you or whatever. I was like, all right, it's all good, bro. And then I got into drunk, angry, evil Pat. And as soon as he's like, fuck Pat Stay, he don't want to throw hands, I'll take Patty's cake. Back then, I was a little bit different. Like now, I would just see it as like respect. But you see me, I walk in the crowd, I'm like, well, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, you was tripping.
But that's embarrassing. I'm like, ugh. And he's like, really, Pat? I'm like, let's fucking go. And I got kicked out, and I'm trying to fight everyone, and I'm walking around the corner looking for people, and I'm like, and then I heard the next day how embarrassing it was, and everyone telling me stories, and that's why I made that apology to Marv. I felt so fucking bad and embarrassed, man. And that shit has happened 100 times, man. Like I said before, Organic had to put me in a whole other hotel, I think once or twice, because he knew how I got when I'm drunk. Like I would, and that's embarrassing, man. Me being like the star king of the dot, and I'm wondering like, yo, why is no one in this hotel? And he has to break it down to me. He's like, dude, I didn't want you getting wild, man, and getting fucked up and end up causing a scene. You know what I mean? And that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing, man. You know?
Super embarrassing.
Yeah. And back then, like in certain situations, especially like the crew I would hang with and stuff like that, like it was cool. I wouldn't say cool, but it was kind of like a defense mechanism more so, because you know the more fucked up I get, the more scary shit gets. And I'm this is just what I'm assuming now. I was kind of like, I was feeding off other people's energy, because you know when we walk in, a bunch of us all fucked up, all gooned up, and they're like, you can smell, I wouldn't say fear, but like, you know, a kind of a tense nervousness, and maybe I fed off of that, and the more drunk I got, the more I thought it was cool to be that dude. You know what I mean? And then, you know, I don't know if that made sense at all, but I think the more drunk I got, the more I think the more drunk I got, the more I fed into this character that they were looking at me as, like a wild dude. You know what I mean? If you were from here, you would. Everyone would say, "Oh yeah, I've met that Pat." One guy recently said, "Oh yeah, you mean that Pat that walks around the club like Eye of the Tiger's playing?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's him."
That's funny. That's funny. But now we all got the stories. We all got the stories. That's the dope thing, is like not forgetting that to become who we are and aim towards the path of like, okay, we got these stories. Now, what becomes of this? Because it's dope to tell these stories, but you know we want to turn this to a triumph story. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
that's
the goal.
I had so many of those instances, just so many, and then the last one, that it wasn't the last one, but the one that really calmed it down a lot. I went out, and my son was 6 months at this time, which is insane. I went out, got extra fucked up for 2 days straight. Caused all kinds of shit. I don't even get into that, but I ended up smashing shit in the house and causing shit outside, and I can't even really get into the other stuff, but like it was real. I knew I was going to lose my family at that point. And I seen my son crying in my girl's arms and my daughter crying, and I was like, that traumatized me. And so I told, and like I said before, this wasn't like every week. This is only like a few months, but I would get to that point of danger, real danger.
It's crucial, though.
Yeah, and losing my family is like, no matter what, is a no-no. Like, that'd be the most traumatizing thing ever. So I told my girl I'd go to AA. So I went to AA, like I promised, and swore I would. I was really worried about this shit, man. I go through the worst depression after drinking, like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days straight. So I went to AA, and it was a storm day. And so there was no one else there. Biggest storm I've seen in years. Just me and the teacher. We sat down, we talked. And I told him my story, he told me his. But I didn't go back, and it's not because I wasn't dedicated. It's because they were pushing God way, way too much. I think there was 12 steps, and 3 of them had to do with, like, accepting that God is the one that's whatever, and it's all God-based. And now I believe in God, but I questioned it. I was just like, I just don't like how this is super God-based, and you keep on mentioning God and Jesus and all that type of stuff. That's not what I'm here for. And he goes, you don't have to preach it. You don't have to, like, follow everything, but you have to accept that God is the one that's helping you, and you don't have control, and God is the one that's controlling you. And I personally don't agree with that. I look to God, I pray to God today, whatever. But I believe at the end of the day, it's us. I don't want to be that guy that's like, no, God is the reason why I earned this. God is the reason why I overcame this.
But they say if you usually stop doing something for one reason, you usually was looking for a reason, or you probably was looking for a reason and not do it anyway. So you really should really not let that, I don't want to say that because I kind of went through the same process. I went to a meeting and I felt like, damn, they definitely pushing this religion super hard. And it deterred me a little bit, but I was only doing it for the classes. I'm not going to hold you. I didn't have no aspirations to go to meetings, period. So I get where you're coming from. Because when I first went to a meeting, that's the first thing I thought was like, they didn't even ask your religion. You feel me? They didn't even the pamphlet around. They'd be like, check Muslim, check Christian. They was just like, God damn for you. And it was just like all on the billboards. And it was like, and it's like, I'm not against religion, but I'm against like you pushing what you believe on somebody.
That's all it was. And I didn't want to ever get to that point where I was like, I don't know, like what if something bad happened, horrible,
But they ain't got no AAA. They gotta have AAA, like Atheist Alcohol Anonymous. Like they gotta have some shit like that. Like you know what I'm saying?
I wish I had more time to like think of it. But what I mean is like, I wouldn't want like something to happen. It
didn't seem genuine, because that's how I felt. It didn't seem. I'm like, if it's genuine, you wouldn't care what I believe or what you would just want it to get clean.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to like something happen where I stopped believing in God for some reason, or I felt God didn't help me through this. So then I was like, well, if God don't got my back, I'm just gonna drink my ass off, take all these drugs. I just didn't want to correlate I didn't want to combine the two like that. They were just pushing that too much. So I stopped drinking for 2 months after that, and then I would slowly have like a beer here and there with my girl, wine nights, things like that. And since then, I've really only had like maybe a couple instances where I lashed out real bad. So I got to say I've gotten a lot better, but it's always in you, man. It's always in you, bro.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely like have a different. I think I'm in a great position. I try to talk to my sister about this, but I feel like it's levels. I've never had like a heavy everyday addiction or a heavy like attachment other than like music. You know what I'm saying? And the Texas lifestyle. So I'm really feeling like I got this shit under control, like the most I've ever had in my life. So I'm feeling like great about it. My whole perspective on it is like, I feel like you definitely got to change your perspective on your addiction. You got to look at this shit like it's whack, or like, I be thinking about the younger me, like that I used to be 15 or 12. And when I see people that smoked and drink, I used to be like, fuck you do that for? That shit tastes nasty. Like, what's the reason? What's the purpose? So me going back to that 12-year-old Nigel, like always has me able to tap in and keep me level-headed on that plane. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Like I don't know why. I've never understood to this day why I become that person. I would just assume it's just some type of insecurity or defense, or I'm angry at something that I've never understood, because it's every time. Like well, not every time, but like when I get to a certain, you can see it in my eyes. If you knew me, you can ask anyone that knows me. They see it. They don't want to talk to me. That it is what it is, and I just become angry no matter where I'm at. Angry, vicious. I'm a Tasmanian devil, and I never quite understood why. It has to be something inside that I'm just not happy with. That I still, and me being such a self-aware person, I don't. It's interesting to me that I haven't found it out yet. But I still don't know why. Like,
there's so many layers. There's so many layers to life, and like whether childhood or growing up, and they have a standard like for women it's like you've been raped, and for like a man it's like, maybe you didn't have a father, or it's so many different layers, like it could like correlate to, or be attached to. Like that's why it's very hard for you to tap in and find that, because you really have to play back your mental Rolodex of like childhood and teenage years. So it's like it's very difficult to find that, and I feel like I've just came comfortable with understanding that, like, yo, I definitely understand I do this for the, like I said on the last video, this Texas lifestyle, what I adapted, and it's nostalgic, and I can't really maybe tap it into deeper, but I'm comfortable leaving it there. Like, I'm comfortable being like, yo, I don't know, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
feel like if you can't tap in, you definitely got to get to that place of being like, yo, I ain't gonna have the answer. I might not could tap into it, but I need the information I got now. I need to utilize that and control that now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I always said that, like, and everyone always said about me, like, I'm very content sober. Like, sober, I'm happy as fuck, hilarious, kind, and everything. And I'm having fun. Like, I'm not one of those people who aren't happy sober, so that's why I need to get whatever. So it always boggled my mind, like, why I would do it. Do you know, for you personally, like, I don't know if I asked this on the last one or if we even went in the depth of it, like are you having such a horrible day that you just pop a Xanny or whatever and make it better, or is it just such a routine?
Yeah, that really happens. It's really me getting high because shit is like going bad, or I'm going through it. Like I said, more than likely, it's me rewarding myself and feeling like, oh, this is a treat. You know what I'm saying? So that was like my mind state most of the time. And don't get me wrong, if I had a Xanny and was going through it, it would get popped quicker than, I normally would. But now I can't remember having that feeling too many times of feeling like, yo, I just want to pop this because I'm dealing with this. Now it was more like, oh, it's finna go down. Hold up. I was hyped. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it was really just a fucked up mind state to have as a person that's way more mature now.
Yeah. The people I know that the biggest drug addicts I know are the loneliest people, is what it comes down to. And
It's a fire angle. Hold up, B. Nah, go ahead. My bad, G. I don't mean to cut you off because you definitely ain't been cutting me off. My bad.
I can't see your eyes, but it's all good. Don't worry about it.
This angle is gangster, though.
So, we don't get to stay on that topic, though. I hope. What is the reason? So, if you said we are, it is still the same topic. You said that you're kind of rewarding yourself. You would never get too fucked up. It hasn't really done much to you.
No, I didn't say I'd never get too fucked up. Nah, okay. You're true.
Like, what is?
I'm on one. I'm telling you, like most of my struggles been with me fucking getting high and driving, like DUI, crashing whips, like you know what I'm saying? Like that's most of my struggles, honestly, is like, it's just driving and shit. I don't really be chilling with nobody or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that is mad dangerous, man.
Yeah, like I've been doing that like probably 15 years, I think. And I remember one time I pulled up on like goods and shit, and that nigga was like, nigga, you drove here like this, nigga? And I was like, yeah. He's like, nigga, I'm not letting you drive back. And obviously he couldn't stop me, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how it was, I just used to, that was normal for me. Like I've been stopped so many times that like paying a toll and stuff, and I'm like reaching down for change, and as soon as I look up, they're like, sir, pull over. Like, we're not letting you leave.
Really?
Bruh, like I'm on a Zan, like 4 ounces of drink. Yeah, every time, bro. I had to like avoid tolls, all type of shit. You feel me? I'm just like in zombie mode, so it's like it's really gotten crucial now. So.
And I bet when you crash, you're thanking thank God or whoever, or just thankful for you. You're still there, but probably thought about your son a lot.
Nigga, you don't know how high I am. God and son, nigga. I'm crashing like, boo, what the fuck is going on? I'm hopping out the whip, like, what's good? Like, I'm not thinking about nothing, like, nothing responsible, nothing important. Like, no, I'm like, I'm constantly out of it. Like, thank God, like, recently I only had a crash where it was like a total, and I totaled a rental car, and, that shit was crucial. I had to dip out, hop off the highway, jump off the feeder, you feel me, and leave the joint, you feel me. So it was kind of crucial. But other than that, it was just like when I banged this up, it was just like a fender bender. I hit like this old couple, and it was on like the 105, and you feel me, it fucked up my shit. They had like a tough, like a Ford Explorer built Ford tough joint. They shit was pretty solid. So I'm just like, yo, I'm fucked up over here. And they was trying to call the police. I had to peel off on them. Like I ain't got too many more chances like that, bro. So like, shit's just been wake up call after wake up call, and there's no more. There's gonna be one day where there ain't no wake up call, and I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? I can't gamble no more. So that's why I'm also being public about it. So other people hold me responsible and stuff like that, while I hold myself responsible.
Yeah, I made posts numerous times. I hate saying this, but is when I would be coming down from a real drinking bender or whatever, and I would say publicly, I'd be like, if you see me in public at the bars or clubs, call me a fucking idiot, call me a dummy, not remind me, because I'm trying to quit for life. And then you know what people would say under it? They'd be like, I know Drunk Pat. There's no way no one's going to come up to Drunk Pat and call you a fucking idiot. No, people just want to leave you alone. You know what I mean? And one time somebody walked up to me, and I was in that mode, just storming around the club, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, Pat, you're a fucking idiot. And for some reason, I didn't react like I normally would. I kind of felt it. I was like, man, you're right, bro. I just fucking went home. But I've done that a couple times. Like I try to, tell my fans to hold me responsible. And the next thing you know, I'm out on the town because I just drank 3 weeks in a row. I'm like, well, not in a row, but like I did every Friday, and I've been cool. And I tell myself, I'm cool. No, I've been real cool lately. I don't even have that side of me anymore. And I tell myself that.
Period.
But then I go out and I become that guy, man, and get all fucked up.
What works best for you? You haven't. Because I feel like me putting it out there is like, I'm saying, yeah, them holding me responsible, but I'm more big on like keeping my word to myself, especially public, and something of this magnitude. So it's like, it's really me holding myself accountable for the most part, because I'm gonna know I let all these people down, and it's sad that weighs more on me than let myself down. I should really hold myself to that same standard. You feel me? So it's like, certain stuff I've learned, what works best for me is just about honestly knocking out them other addictions that, like the music and certain stuff that correlate with it that make me want to do it. I ain't gonna hold you. That's been the hard part. Where I'm stuck at now, what I'm working on now is like cutting out other addictions that lead to it.
Yeah. My main power behind me stopping is my family. Me not losing my family. I know I will. I mean, would it be for good? I'd still be able to see my son, but like not as much. I would hate myself for the rest of my life. Like the family broke up because of my stupid drunk mistakes, because of my addictions and my problems that I couldn't get under control. You know what I mean? And my son would hate me for it too. I'm sure one day he would be at least mad at me for it. Like. And it would be inevitable that some other man would be calling my son, or my son would be calling him daddy someday, or maybe even like just whatever, him around him too much, and that can happen anyway, naturally, and what it is. But I would just hate for all that shit to be my fault because of drinking and my addiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Look, I watched a video last night. This is to kind of like push what you saying a little more, because it can't just, you don't just lose your family one way. I watched a video self-protection that I fuck with this channel. And this dude was arguing with another dude. And the reason I thought of you is because it looked like they was in Canada, honestly. And both of them was drunk. And the dude that was arguing with the other dude didn't know his homeboy was standing right behind him. So his homeboy like waited for him to turn and, you know, did some sucker shit and sucker punched him. Boom, rocked him. But when he fell, he hit his head and he died. You feel me? So them dudes drunk just got, you know, a murder charge, manslaughter, and people don't picture it. And that's how I always picture shit for me. I'm like, it's not going to be me crashing a car, driving, sipping lean. It's going to be some shit like me hitting a pedestrian or something I didn't think of or expect that's probably worse that's going to happen. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like it's so many different variables to play it out. It's like you could lose your family so many different ways. Like, yeah, that shit is scary.
Yep. And yeah, and that's actually one of the something I always thought of that happening, because when we would go downtown, you know, that shit would happen. You know what I mean? I especially like for a lot of my life I rode, you know, with a rough crowd, and like I wouldn't say rough crowd, we're all cool as fuck, good people, but like, you know what I mean? We're kind of rowdy.
Down to beat some ass, you down to turn up.
We would always turn up, and you know, these guys are a lot more aggressive than me. I was actually kind of cool compared to everyone, but like shit would happen all the time, right? So I'm a big guy. Like I'd always think about that. Like, man, like if I smoke this guy right now, he's loaded. His head hits the curb, he's dead, and I'm in jail for fucking forever for a stupid fight that didn't mean anything and that I probably didn't really cause because I was more the chill one. But no, I always thought of that too, man. And like I was saying, it's not just the coming home, because it's little things like I could come home 7 o'clock in the morning all fucked up, and that's one thing, but it might be the things I say when I get home and fight that she might not be able to forget. You know what I mean? Like these things that you do and say all play a part. So if I come home 7 o'clock in the morning and say the craziest, rudest shit 5 times in a row, she might be able to forgive me coming home that, or, you know, coming back at that late. But she might not be able to forget those things, and then after a while, that just deteriorates and fucking ruins the relationship in itself. Did I go too far with that? You know what I mean, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, I know what you mean, 100%. And me being a friend, I would say, you know, unless you got that shit under control 100%, bro, I wouldn't even try to entertain the 1 or 2 beers or the casual drinking, because if that shit could possibly in 1% lead to you turning back to that old you and possibly knocking somebody out and them dying, or like that shit ain't worth it, bro. Like it really ain't. I've dabbled with that so much. Like, yo, I'm strong enough to be able to like sip, not get fucked up, and be responsible. And it's like, bro, unless I'm 100% sure I could do that, I don't need to dibble and dabble. And that's where I'm just scared of just trying to, like, play defense. I'm just like, nah, I'm all the way out the game. Like, if I want to dibble and dabble, I need to come back a year later, you feel me, or 6 months later, and then be like, but honestly, I'm just out the game at this point, and my actions is going to show more than my words can say, so I'm just speaking as of right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're totally right, man. You're totally right. Like, even that 6 months I took, I was proud. Everyone was proud, like, you know, my family and stuff. But I dibble-dabble back in. But I will say, since then, it's been pretty damn good. Like, it was a really big wake-up call for me. But still, I should stop, period. But, you know, I enjoy, like, I really just wanted to get to the point where I could enjoy. Because, like I said, I wasn't drinking every single day at all. It might be once every 2 weeks type of thing. But I just wanted to get to the point where, like, just say me and you went out to lunch, I could just have, you know, 1 beer, 2 beer, crack up, maybe 3, 4, 5, and then just be totally fine.
0.01% chance I shouldn't be sipping lean if I feel like it's even a slight chance that I might go back to that point of me driving fucked up, leaned out, and I shouldn't do it, because that one time could be like finito. I'm done now. That was my one last chance, and it's like, how many chances we got, really? You feel me? Like, this shit is really gambling out here with our life. You know what I'm saying? We really superstars. If motherfuckers that's a Pat Stay fan and the Dawn fan seen us in private like that, they'd be like, they fuck around not be a fan no more. Like, these niggas are straight losers. You're like getting fucked up like this, dog.
Yeah.
We really need to start carrying ourselves like we motherfucking Socrates of this world. Like we're fucking poets and we gods of this shit, bro. Like I'm just saying this out of love. Like if we can't control this shit, we need to stay the far away, bro. Find different positive habits, cause that shit is scary. I'd be damned to see a news clipping about you or vice versa about me, and know we had this conversation, and I ain't go all the way out as a friend to let you know, like, bro, you shouldn't do that shit, period. If it's Calvin, I forgot your daughter's name, but your beautiful daughter, what's her name again?
Alora.
Laura. Like, nigga, that shit ain't nowhere near worth it in the moments of our selfish habits. Like, bro, like, try to tap back into that 12-year-old Pat, because that's what be saving me. Like, nigga, I look at myself like, dog, you corny. Like, you fucking drinking a beer and smoking weed, my nigga, every day? Like, every day, dog. What's up with you? You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I'm just trying to be a friend, bro, because we both, like, got a lot of people that watch us, and if we do the shit and can do it by example, we could, like, you know what I'm saying? That should be powerful, bro. It'd be powerful. Like, I even was mad when I stopped sipping lean. I didn't promote more. Like, you know, I stopped. You know, I was on my health tips, so people seen it. You know, that you can see the results. But I should have been a little more vocal about how I am now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's scary, man. Like, and you're 100% right. I shouldn't be taking any type of sips, man. I'm working on it, man. It's a work in progress, and like even now when I can say, man, I've been good for a minute. I'm cool. I just have one or two drinks. I don't get past that, but I've been telling myself that for years and years and years. And there's countless people. I've lost so many fans, bro, from being drunk, Pat. So many fans. People downtown. Oh man, just people come up to me. What's up, big Pat? Big fan. Get the fuck out of my face. Like countless times. So much. Man, I've had so many complaints from King of the God. Man, like,
you ain't just back a nigga tell him get out your face for being a fan.
Bro, anyone in my path, like anyone in my path,
shit.
Yeah, anyone in my path, and like I wish I like, yeah, and it would just become bad. I would just go in a dark hole, man. And but you know what the shitty part is? Some of those hangovers and some of those really fucked up moments I've been through ended up bringing the best out of me artistic wise.
Sure.
And that's
100%.
the worst part. I asked a guy one time, I said, bro, have you been writing lately? Because he's an amazing writer. And he goes, no. I said, why? He goes, because I'm content. And that spoke so much to me. And I was just like, what do you mean? He's like, man, I had to be all fucked, you know, in my depression or in these type of emotions for me to spark up that depth. You know what I mean? And now I'm just like playing Frisbee with my son and blah, blah, blah. Like, what do I write about? Happy days? I was like, damn, man.
Nah, that's one thing I know is like drugs done inspired a lot of great musicians and a lot of great artists, but having control of your life is more important than anything. Art, music, whatever. Like, so if you could be like, because I have no problem with like drinking alcohol. Like I think the last time I drank alcohol was like a month ago, probably. So I can be spots and do that socially. Like we got to learn what we could do socially and what we into and not into. So yeah, that shit is definitely layered.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we should end this with an AA type of freestyle.
I'll let you do that. You're the freestyle champ. I'll let you
We should end this with like a go sober freestyle.
Go sober.
Shit. That'd be funny.
Hey, pop it off, man.
Do the beat. It's a little delay in it too. Nah, that's funny. But nah, these are healthy conversations, bro. Like this is definitely I wish it was free fucking talking on the phone. It's funny that like to chop it up, they charge and shit, but yeah, bro, these is definitely healthy conversations and staying busy and just finding new creative ways to do dope stuff and to bring everything in full circle on what I believe and where I stand with it. it's just like being the purest you and the best you can be. It's like very impossible for these demons to come in because it's like your soul is pure. Like if you're not talking shit about people, like being manipulating, spiteful, all them negative emotions, like your soul is pure. So that's what everybody should aim to be. Like even if you're not trying to get sober, to cut your addictions, period. Whether it's cigarettes, weed, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? That's the goal, you know what I mean, in my mind. And Lux put me on to something that's dope that I agree with. No matter what, you keep creating, that's gonna keep you busy. If you keep creating and working on something you got going, you gotta stay busy, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay busy.
Yeah, and especially not rewarding yourself. That would be a problem that I would do too. I do some great shit, some creative shit, put it all together, reward myself with some drinks. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be a reward.
Not. I mean, it shouldn't be a reward. Period. Jim Rohn. I mean, it never should be a reward for stuff you're supposed to do. And then I listened to Jim Rohn a lot, and he said a sign of maturity is being able to accomplish a goal and move on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Reward yourself on like a major goal. Like, you know what I mean? If you put your son through school or, something like that, but you can't, reward yourself because you finally cleaned your room and cleaned that. Like, that shit you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. But you know how it is. Like, just say you finish a song, a new song, something great. Man, ain't nothing better than putting them on the speaker. I don't know, but for you, putting down some big speakers, drink some liquor, man. You know what I mean? Enjoy that shit. Go out and celebrate with some shots. But that's not the right thing to do. That's not the right thing to do.
But that's why I said, because it's funny, I said that because the video I was listening to was about setting goals. And that's why setting goals is important. This all goes with everything we're talking about. So if you set goals for yourself, you got certain, I got to do this at 12. I got to be here at 5. How the fuck you going to be out here getting drunk and fucked up? Like, you got shit to do. Your day's planned out. It's mapped out. You know what I mean? So when you got goals set, it's very difficult to get sidetracked or be worried about anything else going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But yeah, it's funny. I'm talking this shit while I'm driving to the dispensary. I'm about to pull up. That's something else I got to get in tech is, I need to smoke weed occasionally. So that's something else I'm working on. It's a nonstop process. It's always fun.
Why do you feel like you have to smoke less?
Because it's like Meek Mill said, like, I don't want to be addicted to nothing. Like, it's corny being addicted to anything. Smoking weed every day ain't loopy. Like, unless I'm smoking to create or it's a purpose behind it. But, you know what I'm saying? Smoking to kill time or smoke and sit here and watch videos that ain't the move. Like, that's not progressive. You know what I'm saying? It's just being progressive.
And even if you are creative, sometimes it can get bad because then if you don't have it, then you'll feel like you can't create because you're so used to creating.
Yeah, I was like that for a long time. Was like depending on it, and I found the new creation zone, and now I'm dope and I'm good again. So everything's loopy.
I used to not be able to write at all without Adderall.
Oh yeah? Yeah, that's how it was for weed. With me, it was like what? Because as soon as I smoked, I got in that zone, so it was so easy for me to say, oh, I need it to write. But I don't need it to write. It just helps me more.
I can only see. I eat a little bit of edibles almost every night, but just a little bit because it can either bring me into a happy mood, laughing, enjoying shit, or it puts me in a fucking 3-hour, 4-hour self-reflecting hellhole where I think about all the bad shit I did. I get too high, I think too much. See, some people it does the opposite. It makes them not think about shit. Me, it's just like, it just magnetizes any problem I ever had when I get too high.
I don't know if this helps, but if you differentiate the sativas from the indicas and the hybrids, certain weeds do certain stuff. So if you probably tapped in a little more and learned like which type of edible you eating and what does what, you probably be able to control it better. Like, okay, I'm going to take this edible and I'm going to just write. Because this is sativa-based dominant, so I'm going to just write on this, and then when I want to, you know what I'm saying, like, you feel me? So certain shit does certain things.
Yeah. You know, Lloyd Banks popped in our chat yesterday. I messaged him. I asked him if he would come on the IG live. He didn't really say yes or no, but he kind of says, "I'll be back on in a few days," type of shit. I respect you or whatever. Do you think Lloyd Banks would
Yeah,
do
that was
good?
a no. That
What's
was a
that?
no.
Definitely.
That's a celebrity no. Like, yeah. I figured out in a couple
Yeah,
A's
that's a
speech.
no. That's a no. Do you think he would do good in battle rap?
Um, I ain't put much thought into that. Honestly, I can't really speak on that. I would just be judging off his freestyles. I can't even, really speak on it. I know judging off his freestyle punchline, that's the punchline king, like Banco. So I would never disregard him in a punchline based sport, but there's so many other elements, like it's hard to say, you feel me? So I really couldn't say.
What do you think?
What you think?
I think he would do well. I just figured that he wouldn't do well with projection.
With who?
With projection, his voice.
Protection?
Projection.
Oh, projection. Yeah, yeah, I see somebody say that. That's the other thing is like, who's willing to take advice? Who's willing to really be humble enough to like sit down with some battlers and, you know what I mean? And I think that's what Cash really should have did, and certain people should do that's coming into this thing. But it's hard for them to do that because it's like, nigga, what? I've been battling growing up, you know what I mean? So it's hard to really like be like, I'm gonna sit here and take advice from somebody younger than me that probably grew up listening to me. You feel me? So I really think anybody that comes in should definitely, find a battler that they fuck with or that's knowledgeable and just, pick their brain.
That's a pride thing, man, because it's not like if me and you went into the studio with Banks, we would be sitting there taking any type of notes he gave. That's
Yeah.
what he
Well,
does.
not, maybe not a surf, maybe not luck, maybe, you know what I mean? It might be some battle rappers that might go in there and feel like, I do this too, you know what I mean? It's just an ego thing, and my thing is like with Cassidy, for instance. I always tell this story because it was wild, hilarious. Like, I'm not into like trading bars, and I've never, don't get me wrong, I've been into that, but I'm no longer into like letting people hear my rounds or like calling people up to hear my stuff. And he did that when he was battling Goods, and off bat, me and him ain't had much of a rapport, so I was a little shocked. But, the funny part is, I had Math around that time, and he was like, let me hear something from you, dog. And I'm like, all right, I'll give you a little 16. I don't really be doing this, though. And so I gave him a 16, and the guy was like, yeah, that was dope. On the first four, though, I think you should change it up. Like, when you said nigga, like, you need to emphasize, and I'm on the jack, like, I'm like, boy, like, I did not need this, like, and it really bugged me out. I'm like, a sign of confidence is being able to gauge yourself, whether you overgauge or undergauge, it shows, like, your self-esteem. And I really was sitting here like, yo, you really should be taking notes. Like, you're on the phone telling me, like, you know what I'm saying? And I was humble. Like, when I heard his rounds, I didn't really critique it because I'm not really on that when it's, like, I think it was like 2 weeks out. Like, it ain't like he gonna change his shit. So, I don't know if Cats is humble like that. I just told that story to come to that.
I feel bad for before he battled Goods and fucking who else he battled? Arsenal. I was like dissing my fans and my peers, like, man, you guys are fucking crazy hating on Cass. He paved the way. He did this, man. He's gonna do great, blah 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 blah. And then I'll be honest, man. Now I almost feel disrespected, like just how like shitty he's kind of doing, but then coming off and being like, I'm still the greatest. These guys ain't shit. All this type of stuff. It's like, how could you stand there after getting booed in Philly immediately and then leave still talking like you can think this, whatever you want, but still talking like you don't need any work. You don't need any advice. You couldn't take any advice from anyone. Because I remember he told Matt, I forget what he said, but I think he basically said he wouldn't take advice from people. He wouldn't take no type of coaching or whatever. He's the greatest ever. So it just makes me think, it's just like,
But my thing is like, for Cassidy or anybody of that caliber that talks like that, like Adrian Broner, like, what's the protocol? Like, how are they supposed to talk after talking so heavy Like,
Yeah.
it would look so hypocritical for them to go in there and be like, you know, the guy got me. He had the better night. Like, they got to clean that shit up. Like, some way, like, they got to come out there talking about, you know, the ref right eye was twitching. He missed the first. Like, it got to be an excuse because they talk so crazy. Like, and I really feel like I'm not mad at that part. I'm mad at, you know, them talking crazy like that when you ain't coming with it. That's what I'm mad at. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, you got to clean this shit up now. You're looking crazy out here. You
I
know
guess
what I mean?
I guess I'm just mad at the fact like that he can't be like at least be like, yeah, I killed that. I did this, blah blah blah. But at least be like, you know, but I still got work to do. You know what I mean? I still got I always have stuff to improve on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep learning, getting better, rather than like, nah, it doesn't get any better than this. 5 million and oh, and I'm just keep on losing and losing. Like you get beat like bad in your own town, and you know what I mean? Like, and I'm still such a Cassidy fan, but I'm watching him. I'm almost like concerned for his mental health, and I don't mean that in any disrespect. I'm like, you know,
that's a big blow. That's a big blow. Like I've seen a lot of artists, you know, just me viewing from outside, that I realized, like, you know, they had this big ego and delusional thing, and when shit doesn't work out, yeah, like Cannabis is a good example of that. You know what I mean? Like, his ego was through the roof, but he was, you know, backing it up with crazy shit. But when shit fell flat, you know, he went to the army, and it's just like, I don't really know. A psychiatrist kind of got to break that down. That's deep. Like, why that shit happens. I feel like that shit probably happens every case, like of a super arrogant, I'm this, and that shit don't work out. It's like, how do you face people? Like, you go into a deep depression, I could imagine. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. No, I know a few people that know him and said that battle kind of fucked him up. You know what I mean? It messed him up in the head a little bit. Still talks really delusional, as if like, you know, he's the greatest, he's a stand-up and all this kind of stuff. But I could just tell by watching him when he was rapping, like when after he gave up and said, "You win, you're sick, you're great," and all this kind of shit, and then started reading from his pad. I could tell when he was like presenting his shit. I'm like, bro, you really thought that was gonna hit, or like you really? I seen a look in his eyes that just didn't look right. He just didn't look all there. I pray for both of their well-being, and at the end of the day, I was a fan of both of them. So it is what it is, right? But,
yeah, I'm still a super fan of both of them. I ain't gonna lie though, I don't feel bad for nobody. It's like everything you get, you put out. We in the mirror era. Like, you know what I'm saying? The energy you get, you put out. Like, I don't know what niggas do in the dark to feel bad for them. I could be interrupting your karma feeling bad for you. Like you might deserve this. So I can't sit around and feel bad for nobody. You know what I mean?
yeah, and you either take it wrong and let it get the best of you, or you make an obstacle an opportunity and you learn from it and become better. And that's just maybe what I'm saying. Like, I hope that Cassidy deep down is like, all right, I know I'm not doing good right now. I need to come back strong. I need to go back to the drawing board and do some studying.
Even musically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, period. Anything I would love to see from Cass. Like, nobody, just the battle world counting him out. Niggas ain't counting him out musically. Like, he could do his thing. You feel me? So that's what's dope about it. But yeah, we probably gonna end it here because I got to my destination. I was just really using you to buy time. Other than that, it was jamming music. So appreciate you. Nah.
Next time we'll talk some other shit, man. I know you called me talking about a different topic. We'll talk about that next time or whatever.
But I got, if you wanna touch more on some battle rap shit, I got a couple more minutes and shit. This ain't no appointment thing.
No, it's all good. But what were you saying? You called me. You wanted to speak on something. You called me the other day.
That's a long conversation. That's like,
we'll do that another time.
Yeah, we definitely got to touch that another time. But yeah, just as far as like the climate now and shit, I'm just really waiting to see how long this shit is gonna last for. It seems like it's gonna last way longer than people are saying. Than, you know, the Trump or the government was saying. So this shit seems like people should really get prepared to, find some different hustles, and it's time to really show up and work hard. And that's dope because the people that's already been working hard just gotta continue to do what they've been doing.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? They got the OG out here with I guess these maskers is low. Niggas out here wearing bandanas and shit.
Yeah. All right, let's catch up, man. You do your thing. We'll go back on tomorrow whenever you want, bro.
I remember the streets don't love you, man. The streets don't love you, man.
Right.
Shout out my boy JG, man. Appreciate you, Pat. Everybody watching. Much love. Bang, bang.
I had to remove him quick because sometimes if he removes himself, it cancels the whole shit and I can't save it. But I appreciate you guys watching, man. Next time, maybe we won't go into depth about our problems and shit like that and talk about some rap shit more. But, it's all good. We wanted to speak on real shit. What the fuck is going on here? All right, man. Peace.